But just to give you a flavor of what we do at HCL, we have created a shared services, which I think Gaurav talked a lot about shared services, the value that is driven, and the savings that can be achieved. We have about 500 odd FTs in the shared services. So by the numbers he said, we are a very large shared services. We have consolidated our operations completely between Noida and Chennai. So we are centralized. I wouldn't call it standardized, fairly standardized, because we're still in the process of moving to standardization in some of the processes that we deal with. But we deal with pretty much all the processes that he talked about, including high-end, low-end, transactional, and we also plan to do FP&A from here in a short while. So we are looking at shared services as truly an organization that will drive value to the entire company. And we service about 40 countries. We have, rest of it is public information. We are growing businesses. We are fairly well positioned to grow. And scalability is one of the big reasons why we set up shared services. Because otherwise the challenge is, every time the business grows, you got to keep adding people. And you got to keep adding people and creating redundancies across multiple parts of the organization. So we've eliminated that, and that's what we see as a big reason for creating this shared services. And also the desire to transform our processes. We don't want to be where we are or where we were, and that is one of the reasons why I'm standing in front of you. We have invested into technology, and we are continuing to invest into multiple technologies. So for us, we have taken it process by process, and instead of going through all the processes and what we have done, I thought let's cover in detail accounts payable, which is probably more related to what Newgen as a partner has helped us to achieve. So this session, we will go do a deep dive into our accounts payable process, the transformation, and also tell you of some of the good things that Warren showed, that there are sometimes, implementing it strictly will make a difference, or the way you implement it will make a difference to you. And I can share some practical aspects of some of the things that he said and how it can be leveraged to make it happen. So is that a fair ask? Is that what you're expecting to hear, or? So, either way, I would assume silence is considered to be, let's go on with. So on accounts payable, I think what we do is we process invoices for 40 plus countries. We have about 500,000 invoices every year that we push through the system. It includes all types of invoices. And for us, accounts payable is just not paying our vendors. Most of them are our partners. If any of you understand the technology business, many of you will know that we are into hosting, and hosting is our largest growing segment today, right, which is infra services. And there we are an aggregator of services where we get many partners together and render service to one large corporation, and these services are very important. So accounts payable is just not paying vendors for us, it is paying our partners and making sure that they're treated well. So our journey in accounts payable, transforming accounts payable, was a very brave decision which took about 12 months for us to think through and agree on a partner. So we evaluated 5 vendors, and finally we zeroed in on Newgen, and we're glad we did that. It works. And the way we operate is, since we are all consolidated in one center, we operate for all these 40 countries from here. So we operate all the multilingual invoices, and we have very skeleton staff in any of these countries that we operate in. So our model is very cost effective. In terms of opportunities, people call it challenges, or I call it opportunities. We had multiple opportunities to work on, and I think a lot has been talked about accounts payable and what are the challenges that everybody faces. We face similar challenges because we had 100% manual, paper-intensive process, which was totally, even to sign a check, you had people moving around with tons of paper across the organization. And nobody wanted to sign because they don't know what they're saying. So it became a challenge for our banking guys to track down a signatory and get the signature, because he has to go through tons of paper to sign it. So that was one. Then visibility in terms of, the month-end accruals. What are we accruing for? Do we really know what our costs are and what our outstanding is? Then obviously the usual challenges like partner vendor invoices not being paid on time, and partners threatening to cut us off service. So it was typical problems of the industry, and when you don't have a payable process that really works and which is seamless, you have all these challenges. So when you see a call from overseas, you should get scared whether it's a partner calling you to tell I'm shutting off service, or it is somebody calling to tell that I've submitted an invoice and I don't see anything happening with it. So these type of, and then we did not have a probable, a good visibility into where we are spending our money. Although we spend about $1 billion and a half in every year, spend analytics, there was something that Gaurav talked about, analytics. And spend analytics is very important, and the way I see it is very simple process. If you get, and the way we are trying to do it is we just get 2 BIQ licenses and get the right guys to do it, you can get so much visibility into your spend. So while the term is very, there's a lot of jargon and it sounds very, it's actually simple to implement. And when you implement it the right way, you get a lot of results. The function will pay for by itself and give so much of power to your negotiation. So we built a comprehensive transformation roadmap for our accounts payable process. So when we put this, when you see it here, like I told you, we took 12 months to decide on the partner. It took us about 3 months to implement. And we have a good workflow that works now. Our challenge is, we have about 500 people who are working on the system, on the Newgen system. We have 400 people sitting across the globe who are approving invoices. So one of the insights that I got today was they have mobile apps and they didn't sell it to us. So, which we need to buy. Because I think people ask us this, everybody wants to work on mobile and people wants to, especially it becomes very convenient for our senior leadership. And so that's something that I learned today, that they have a capability which is good. And I think in terms of what is our biggest benefit of implementing this solution is, one is the visibility factor. Today we know every invoice that has come into the system, where it is, with whom it is, and why it is pending there. So if a partner calls me, I can give him an exact status of when he'll get paid or who it is sitting with, and I know who to follow up with. It is not lying in the multiple desks of my processors. So it has become less people dependent to that extent. Of course, in terms of benefits, other benefits, we did see some. They talked about SAP integration. I think they did a very nice, sterling job of integrating it with our SAP system. They talked about customizing the workflow. They did a great job because we have 400 people and they really customized it to make it. And each of our invoices goes through 10 rounds of approvals. We are very conservative in our approach. We do believe that more people look at it, it's better for us. So we have more than a complicated approval process. We have recommenders and we have approvers, and then we have people looking at it for no reason also. So we don't believe in the fact that, so that, when you implement a new system, that's how you are, you're paranoid. The one thing that came to my mind was, Varun showed us a duplicate control process. Now, we took that literally, and the way we implemented it, none of our invoice could be processed. Everything was a duplicate. We gave them enough of permutation and combination to make sure that every vendor gets stuck, every invoice gets stuck. And we had 4 people clearing this regularly. And long story short, now we are changing, we understood that we were overly conservative. So we've changed that. It's becoming more efficient for us. And importantly, see, when you see a tool and when you buy a tool, right, the first thing you see is, you see the functionalities, but I think what is more important is the people behind it. Because if they don't stand by you, and they don't make these changes for you, because some of the learnings will come only when you implement it. So that's what we found them to, and that's why I'm here. To tell that, we are thankful for the partnership. They stood with us all along the way, and they still continue to be there. So that's very important for us, and that's. Otherwise, in terms of IPS, call it ICR, OCR, our extraction is pretty good. From a 20% accuracy rate, we have got to around 80% in 4 months. So I've eliminated 80% of my manual data entry work, which is good. I intend to see I think we intend to see a productivity of 20 to 30% on our resources in the next 3-4 months, which is also fairly considerable considering the fact that it's not such a significant investment. And obviously, the other things that it also helped us, when we did this solution, one of the things that we started thinking about is how can we reduce paying the money, how can we reduce payment to Newgen? So, because they charge us by the invoice. So suddenly they came about this invoice consolidation program, and can we do this better, and can we change the way, instead of getting all these documents scanned. So we have gone on that journey, and we've really seen that it's not only given us benefits in terms of consolidating invoices. Earlier, we were not claiming service tax on the 100 rupee data card invoices. Now having them consolidated, suddenly we get the tax benefit also. So we started thinking on those lines, I think, which is a good thought for us. Earlier we would have never considered that because it was coming in bulk, lying somewhere, who cared about it? Somebody was keying in. So now it got us thinking on that terms, and we also decided that the payment processing will be seamless. So we have implemented host to host, whereby 80% of our payments go directly from our system. Because of the front-end system, because we implemented this workflow and the way we work today, there's very little opportunity for fraud with all the duplicate checks and controls that we have put in place. So we were confident enough to go and make it automated to the extent that 80% of our payments is by ACH wire today directly from the host to host system. So that's definitely one of the advantages. If we didn't put this, we wouldn't have had the confidence to go there if everything was manual. So I think that was some of the benefits that we saw. Then I think in terms of vendor satisfaction, I would not have a metric now to tell you, but at least the number of calls have come down and the number of emails have come down. Our help desk is, we did not have a fully functional help desk. We never gave a calling ability. We thought having chartered accountants in the help desk has been a lot better. So while we have a good help desk, they're not the real functional help desk. So we are moving towards moving out some of these good chartered accountants and bringing in people with customer service who can pick up the calls and answer calls, rather than having a very functional guy who's questioning the vendor on the sanity of his query. So we are evolving as we go along the journey, right? I mean, we are also learning that some of the things that we did earlier was not right, and we're changing. So if you guys have any other questions, we can address it. Otherwise, and like I told you, it's not about just looking at Newgen as if you want to transform and build your shared services to efficiency, you should have a very comprehensive transformation roadmap, which addresses everything that you want to achieve, right? If it's your wish list, put it there. Don't try to do bits and pieces of technology implementation. Then you end up with multiple technology, multiple partners, difficulty in managing. So we built this comprehensive transformation roadmap. We bought the product from one partner rather than selecting multiple partners, which worked for us. And we also know where we want to get to. So I'll actually take you to the last slide, where we actually shown where we stand in terms of benchmarks. In terms of invoice per FTE, I think what I have not put there, why I put there aspirational is this is where we want to get to, which is we want to get to 22,000, and the best in class is 38,000. Today we are around 8,000 invoices. So we're looking at going 3 times. And since implementing the tool, we have improved by about 2,000, 3,000 invoices per FTE, which is a significant gain. When you see in terms of percentage, the number of people, and also the controls that we have built in place. In terms of vendor transactions automated, we want to get to about 71%. We are probably at a very low end in this case. Now with the accuracy of the OCR going up, I think it should be a lot more better for us. So we really don't know where we stand at this point of time, but we're trying to measure that. Non-PO is another problem for us. When we have a significant number of non-PO invoices, and that's basically due to the way we work. I mean, it's an industry we are in, the way we work, and we don't want to really change everything overnight. But we do want to get to about 40%, and today we are about 50-55% in terms of non-PO invoices. And in terms of three-way match, I think we're fairly good. I think we have three-way match about 42. We should be in the 40% range now, and we intend to get to 42%. Because this depends a lot more on the PO compliance and what type of vendors we deal with. Some of them are not willing to accept POs. So it's more industry-driven. And electronic payments, we are much better than world class because we have 80% of our payments going through electronic. We hardly cut checks. We have no vendor who's not with us on an electronic payment mode. So when we onboard the vendor, we make sure that we onboard them with electronic pay capability. While there's arguments to and fro why checks are better and why this is better, I definitely feel going the ACH way, the EFT way is much better for all of us. So that's about it. So if there are any questions we can address, or I do think I've taken my allotted 20 minutes.
Hi, I have a quick question. I just want to know what was the trigger? I mean, I'm sure HCL was making payments to their vendors before you had the solution, or shared services as well. What was that trigger point, or what made you think of shared services and then actually go into this exercise?
Shared services is not a thought that came yesterday. We thought about it for 12 to 18 months because of the benefits that it drives. And we are expecting that in 2013-14, we'll drive $1 million of savings for the company. So that is big from a finance cost perspective. Then we started benchmarking ourselves with global companies. Today, the CFO organization in a best-in-class company spends about 0.6% of the revenue on finance and accounting costs. And we were somewhere in the region of 1 point something percent. So we saw an opportunity to improve. So that was one of the big drivers. And then like every other company, we also like to bring in consultants and do studies, and we take advisors, and then we implement some, and we don't implement some of them. So we have always people advising us on how to do things. And sometimes we take them seriously, and sometimes we don't do it because we just can't practically do it. Yes, so that's a big driver.